So growing up in the early mid-90s, arcades were huge at the time, and although there wasn't an arcade like really close to my house, whenever I'd go to the mall, whenever I'd go, you know, anywhere that had an arcade cabinet, I would always check it out. And there's a lot of games that sort of impacted me. There's a lot of games I remember, mostly Sega arcade games, you know, games like Top Skater, games like Daytona USA, games like Virtua Fighter. But there's one game that I have a very personal story with that I thought was very funny, and that was Die Hard Arcade. Die Hard Arcade probably is my favorite arcade game of all time. And over on my Patreon page, one of the reward tiers is that you could pick a video that I have to do monthly. And one of my Patreons wanted me to talk about Die Hard Arcade. I guess he was going sort of by the Saturn method because, you know, I love the Saturn version. I own the Saturn version complete in box. It is an awesome game, which I'll briefly touch on in my story. But I actually have a very interesting story about the actual Die Hard Arcade cabinet, because Die Hard Arcade was the first arcade game that I ever beat. So sit back, relax, let's take a trip down memory lane, and let's talk about Die Hard Arcade and how it was the first arcade game I ever beat. What's funny about this story is that if you watched my video on Sega Innovations down in Epcot Center, this event happened at the same time as I went to that Sega Innovations place. So it just sort of shows you why I don't remember it. It's because I remember this event so strongly. So big during that time were timeshares. You would go to Florida, you know, you'd go to Disney World, and then they would try to sell you timeshares, and you would get stuck in these timeshare meetings. You ever seen the South Park episode where they do timeshare stuff? It is exactly like that. Like, it's an all-day thing. And of course, my parents got roped into it. So we went to a timeshare thing in like Kissimmee, Florida, which was like really close to where everything was. And we got there within like 10 minutes. You know, young RGT 85 is bored out of his mind. Like, I'm just like, what are we doing here? Are you gonna get it? Are you not gonna get it? Why do I have to sit here? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm like kicking my feet, and the guy could tell that I'm getting kind of anxious. And he stops talking to my parents, and he looks at me and goes, "You like video games?" And I'm like, what the hell kind of question is that, dude? Yes, I like video games. Are there video games here? Where are the video games? Why are you denying me access to the video games? I need access to the video games. I mean, really, I was just like, yeah, I do. But, you know, in my head, I was thinking that probably. And so he's like, well, we have an arcade here. And I'm like, okay, let's get this timeshare. They have an arcade here. We're good to go. We are now going to own a timeshare that we'll never use because I don't really think anyone uses timeshares. So he's like, do you want to go to the arcade where I talk to your parents all day and bother them? And I'm like, yeah, I do. So he brings me to this little arcade area. It was right next to a pool, and it was a small room, but there was like, you know, 6 or 7 different arcade cabs in there, which I thought was really cool. And I was just sort of looking around, and I saw Die Hard Arcade. Now, at the time, I didn't know anything about Die Hard Arcade, and I just sat there and watched, you know, the demo reel playing, and I was like, oh my God, I need to play this game. So the guy's like, oh, just hold on a second, I'll be right back. And so I'm standing there with my parents. Of course, now I'm trying to convince them we need this timeshare because, hell, they have an arcade here and a swimming pool. This is heaven on earth for, you know, a little kid who loves video games, loves to swim, and loves Florida. So we're gonna come here all the time. I'm gonna come to the arcade. We're gonna go see Mickey Mouse. And so the dude comes back and he's got this cup. It's like this big, and it's all full of tokens. And he's like, all right, are you old enough to hang out in this arcade by yourself with this huge cup of tokens? And I don't even know if he was talking to me, he was talking to my parents. I was like, yes. Give me tokens. So he gives me this huge cup of tokens, and then he just goes off with my parents, and I'm just like a kid in a candy store. Like, I could play anything as long as I wanted. So immediately I went over to Die Hard Arcade, and that was the first arcade game I ever beat because I had so many tokens. And I just remember loving that game. You know, even on the Sega Saturn, it's such a good game. You know, it has nothing to do with Die Hard. Obviously, it's the Dynamite Cop series. I think it's called Deku Cop, possibly in Japan. But there was 2 games in it. There was one on the Dreamcast that came out in the States as well, Dynamite Cop, and there was 2 versions, one on the Saturn, one on the Dreamcast in Japan. But for some reason, with the US release of Dynamite Cop, they decided to put the Die Hard license in it and have, you know, Bruce Willis's character from Die Hard in the game. And it really didn't make sense as a Die Hard movie, but it sort of did make sense because it was sort of like you know, an environment, a situation that John McClane would be in. So that's what made the game really interesting to me. It's just such a fun beat 'em up game, a dying dead genre that we never really saw, you know, much of, but it was that 2D side scroller with 3D elements that made it really good. And I just remember playing it and beating it in the arcade, and I was so excited. You know, they had some other games there too that I went and played, but that's all I remember, you know. And sadly, that's all I really remembered about that whole Florida vacation trip until I saw iRetroGamer's video on Sega Innovations, because I completely forgot about that. Like, I guess I was just so excited about Die Hard Arcade that I forgot about all the Sega stuff that I saw at Epcot Center. So, cool little story. Thank you to, I believe Alan made up this, had this request, so thank you, Alan, over on the Patreon. If you guys like the channel and you guys like what I'm doing, check out my Patreon. There's a bunch of different rewards. If you want to help out the channel, be my guest. If you don't, I totally understand. Just keep watching the videos. And thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this little trip down memory lane. Make sure you let me know in the comment section down below what you think about Die Hard Arcade. If you have any memories, either of the Saturn or the arcade version. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Later.
RGT 885. RGT 885. RGT